Tell us everything you remember. Any business dealings, any personal dealings, any criminal activity you were a witness or a party to, anything and everything.
To be honest, I thought it was incredibly easy to keep this thing a secret. For other people involved and not involved, not so much. But for me, I just denied it all the time, because I just like surprises, and so for me, it was easy to keep it a secret. I was walking the streets of New York, and I knew I was hopping on a call with Vince just to talk about the 10-year anniversary, and what sort of plans, what that might look like. We were gonna have a sort of presence at Comic-Con and just kind of checking my schedule. And then at the end of the call, he said, "Look, I wanted to talk to you about something. There's this idea I've been kind of floating around, but I wanted to gauge your interest on it." And then he told me, and I go, "Vince, of course. I mean, whatever you want to do, I'd follow you." He's like, "Well, look, I don't want to make any sort of empty promises. I only want to do this if it's perfect, and I will let you know if I crack it." And about 7 months later, he finished the script, and he invited me over to his office to read it, and he informed me that he thought that he did it. And I read it, and it was just heartbreakingly beautiful, and it wasn't trying to be anything that it wasn't. I think it was just a perfect next chapter. So any fan of Breaking Bad, anyone that trusts Vince Gilligan as a storyteller, is gonna be a massive fan of this film.
And Vince, how does this look like with the mouth open?
I wonder if there's also wince of pain, I mean, it's gotta hurt to move.
I am so excited to be able to just finally talk about this film, let alone just have this film out to the masses. It's incredibly exciting. It's been in the works for some time, and it's only been out in the open, realistically, just over a month or so. And so it's incredibly exciting, and I'm incredibly proud.
And I found grace in the black water bathed my soul.
Reading the El Camino script for the first time was it was nerve-wracking. I knew it was gonna be beautiful. I actually filmed myself driving to Vince's office. I just wanted to send him a note before I read it, and then afterwards. It was great. It's everything and more that I thought it was gonna be. It's perfect. I mean, he's just such an incredible storyteller. And I read it, and then I read it again and again and again, and just fell in love with this guy even more, with Vince, with Jesse, with all of these characters. So I think people are gonna be very excited. Really, El Camino follows Jesse's journey the moment he breaks free from the Nazi compound. You quickly realize how he received his scars all over his face, all over his body. You understand the torture that he has been through for the past 6 months. And it's really about him struggling to find freedom, finally, and what he has to do to get that freedom.
Take for granted all the world's aglow.
To be honest, I'm not surprised with the fandom of the show. I think it's incredibly special. Yes, I'm a little biased, but I know when something is special, and this is just so beautiful inside and out, and just so yeah. With it having a home on Netflix, we get new fans on a daily basis, and so I get approached from people honestly every day that are saying, they are just now starting the show, which is incredibly exciting. I've had such random encounters in such far corners of the world. One I was just talking about earlier, my wife and I were on our honeymoon landing in the Maldives years ago, and we got off the plane on this small little airport, and this guy was like flagging in another plane, and he's just is looking over at me, and then he just ditches the plane that he's like bringing in and runs over to me and just starts screaming, Jesse. Yeah, it was great. You know what? I just sit back and enjoy the ride. I have zero input. I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Vince is the mastermind. He's the storyteller. I'm just lucky to sort of be able to zip on one of his characters and, you know, have the role of the actor, and hope I do it justice.
You ready? Yeah.